Hey guys, I'm Amanda. I'm a financial writer, and welcome to the Personal Finance Diaries. Here we talk real money, saving, debt, and smarter financial decisions. So today's topic is how to compare debt relief programs. So there are a lot of different options out there for debt relief. So if you're deep in debt and you're trying to figure out which direction to go in, it makes sense if you're overwhelmed because there are a lot of different types of debt relief options out there. And then even within each option, you have to go through and compare the lenders and different companies, and it can become pretty confusing fast. So first I'm going to talk about some of the different just kind of general options you have for debt relief. So one of the most common is using a debt consolidation loan. So this is a decent option if you have debt coming from a lot of different sources. What this will do, is that it will combine it all into one loan. So instead of paying off a ton of separate different debts each month and making separate monthly payments, and that can be kind of hard to keep track of, you'll just make one payment per month, and it'll go toward all those debts combined. So it is pretty helpful just for those kind of purposes. Makes it easier to stay on top of your payments. But the big reason why you should use a debt consolidation loan, if it seems like that's the right option for you, is to get a lower interest rate. That's really the main purpose, because if the interest rate with the debt consolidation loan isn't any lower than what you're already facing with all your different debts already, then it really isn't worth it. So you do really need to compare the interest rate, and then you also want to take a look at the term lengths as well, because those can range. Some can be shorter, some longer. So you do want to evaluate those different things when you're looking at specific lenders. So another option specific to if you have a lot of credit card debt is using a balance transfer card. So you can transfer your balance from one credit card to a balance transfer card, which is designed to have a lower interest rate and really kind of save you money on those interest payments and kind of prevent you from stacking up more and more debt over time, because you really want to pay this off as soon as possible, because credit card debt can really accumulate fast. So a balance transfer card can be really good for that. You can transfer just like one card over to it, or you could transfer credit card debt from multiple different cards. It just kind of depends how you want to go about it. So you really do want to look at that interest rate and also specifically introductory offers, because several of them do have offers for like the first several months, the first year or so, where you get a 0% APR. So that is definitely worth looking into. And then you also should compare fees. So some of them charge a balance transfer fee while others do not. So it's best to probably go with one that has no fee, because the less that you have to pay, the better. So that is also an option worth looking into if you're dealing with credit card debt specifically. So another thing, if you're dealing with just a ton of debt and you really can't get out of it, and if you've already tried contacting the lender and negotiating with them and you just can't make it work, in that case, you might want to look at using a debt settlement company. Now, these you do have to be very careful with, and you do want to research them like on the Better Business Bureau, see what kind of reviews they're getting, because they are variable as far as reviews and all that kind of stuff. So you want to make sure you're working with a legit company that knows what they're doing. So the way that this works is they're not supposed to collect any fees from you upfront. That is actually illegal. So if they try to do that, then don't work with that company. So what you will do, a lot of times they will tell you to stop making payments on your debt. So because the thing is that ultimately you want the lender to feel like it's better for them to take a smaller settlement than nothing at all. So you want to stop making payments, even though that could hurt your credit score. So they'll probably advise you to do that if you're working with a debt settlement company, and instead you will put the money in like an escrow account, which will then go toward the settlement once that is worked out. So the debt settlement company, they will negotiate with the lenders on your behalf. So you won't have to do that, and usually they can settle the debt for a lot less than what the original debt was, although there is a significant fee involved. It really kind of depends on the company you're working with, but a lot of times it can be somewhere between 15 and 25% of the debt. So that can be pretty significant, and this will hurt your credit score quite a bit. It is just something to keep in mind, and it's kind of something you really should only look at this when you've exhausted other options like a debt consolidation loan and stuff like that. This is not like your first line choice at all. So just keep that in mind. And then also when you're evaluating these companies, like I said, the fees, you want to look at what kind of fees they charge, like what percent of the debt that they will take when they settle. And then the other thing is that a lot of times they do have minimum debt requirements because it's not really worth it to them to negotiate for you over small amounts of debt. And this is a lengthy process. This can take several years for them to settle your debt. So you should keep that in mind as well. And then if everything else fails, if none of these options are working for you and the debt is just too much, then you could file for bankruptcy, but that is really a last resort. So you do have quite a few options before you get to that point, which is good, but it can still be difficult to compare the different lenders and companies in each area. So what I would recommend doing is using a comparison site. So I will show you how to do that right now. All right, so this is what Best Money looks like. This is a pretty popular comparison site, as you can see, for a lot of different financial products, like mortgage loans, insurance, banking, credit cards, all kinds of things. But it does also have a lot of information related to debt relief. So if you click on debt consolidation, you can see here, it gives you a list of some of these companies that they vetted. They score each one out of 10 possible points. There are also detailed reviews on the different companies that you can read through and kind of get an idea of the features and just kind of what you're looking at with each company. So that can be pretty useful. And it also mentions here under each program, it tells you the minimum debt amount, which is really important. And you can filter by that. So if you have like less than $10,000 in debt, you get options that work for that. Like a couple of these have minimum debt of $1,000. And then if you have a lot more debt, like more than $15,000, it'll give you options that work for that situation. So that's kind of how it works as far as that goes. And then if you're looking specifically for like debt consolidation loans, you can go here under like personal loans, filter when you're looking at your loan purpose. You can filter for debt consolidation loans, type in your loan amount, annual income, credit score. It'll show you options for that. And then the same thing for a credit card consolidation loan. Kind of works the same way. They give you ratings out of 10, and you can click here next to a company. If there's one you're particularly interested in, you can click Get My Rate, and it'll bring you right to that specific site. And then I also want to show you kind of how they present balance transfer credit cards. So when you click on credit cards, it'll take you to this screen, and then you can filter for balance transfer. And this will list out quite a few different options for you, and then it breaks down some of the different characteristics, like the intro APR tells you how long that lasts, the regular APR, annual fee, and then the recommended credit score for each one. So that is a pretty useful tool if you're dealing specifically with credit card consolidation and are looking for a balance transfer card. So that's basically how Best Money works. You can just kind of click around and explore some of your different options and filter through and see which choices might be best for your situation. It's a lot better than just Googling around and doing it on your own, because then the research process can be pretty difficult if you're doing it on your own, and it's hard to really see what you're looking at and view the different options side by side. So that's really why I would recommend using comparison sites like Best Money and also others. I would recommend using several of these actually, because you want to really see what your options are, because some sites might cover ones that other sites don't, and things like that. And then also you can compare the ratings and reviews across sites too. So Best Money tends to be one of the more user-friendly ones, but there are several out there, and I would recommend visiting them. So I hope this kind of helped you get an idea of what your options are for debt relief. It's a difficult situation to be in, but as you can see, there are quite a few options available to you, so that is good news at least. So thanks for hanging out with me on the Personal Finance Diaries. If you found this useful, don't forget to subscribe. We're all about making smarter money moves. See you next time.